Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Shadows Within. I'm your host, Larry, and we are going to be going over is RCW Hellfire. Eddie Walker has some announcements. There will be two tournaments, one for the first week, one for the second week. The first one will be for the men to determine the Hellfire Championship #1 contender. And all 8 competitors have been chosen, and all the matches were assigned by a random spiel to win wheel spin. My apologies. First round matchups will be Extreme Rules. Second round will be cage pins only, and the third round will be an ambulance. And to kick us off, it will be the Green Giant versus the innovator of violence, the innovator of extreme, the innovator of hardcore, Tommy Dreamer, the heart and soul of ECW. That should be a great one. Then we have Gage Payton versus John Robb, the Savage One, member of the Wolfpack, versus his former brethren in BLS, Gage Payton. Welcome, Mr. Daryl Williams of Hostility. Welcome. Welcome to the Shadows Within. And next up will be King Dominator, KD, taking on Dame Wayne. And finally, it will be Freddy Krueger versus Jack motherfucking Graves. And that is the 8-man tournament that will be, and it will all take place in one night. And there will be a ladies tournament to determine the RCW Women's Bloodlust Championship #1 contender. And the current Hellfire champion is Mr. Damian Briggs, the Nightmare Briggs, and the current RCW Women's Hellfire champion, the Bloodlust champion, is Angelina West. Who will take away these tournaments? That remains to be seen. And we might as well tell you who the women are for the tournament, for the second tournament, which will be the week after. It will be the Nun versus Victoria, Nikki Cross versus Britt Graves, Reagan Anderson versus Haven Renee, and finally Samantha Carter versus Donna B. First round for those will be Falls Count Anywhere. Second round will be a last woman standing. Third round will be casket. Stay tuned for these two tournaments. Going to be fire. Now, as we know, recently, IPW has made its comeback and been coming around with house shows. And recently, the house show that passed today was incredible. And I'm always excited to see where IPW will go going forward. And the kickoff, it was Evil Johnny versus Joey Samuels, with Joey Samuels walking away victorious. Britt Graves took on Reagan Anderson with special referee Blind Man. Britt Graves walked out victorious. Christina Palmer and AJ took on the Faces of Fear, Amaya Bryant and Angel Bryant, with Christina Palmer and AJ walking out victorious. Derek Marshall took on SJG, with SJG walking out victorious. There was a fatal 4-way between Caitlin Evans, Riley, Taylor Griffin, and Nicole Davis, with Nicole Davis walking away victorious. Ace Green versus the one Tyson Storm, with Ace Green walking out victorious. Then there was a triple threat between CJ Frost, JG, and Shockwave, and CJ Frost walked out victorious. King Art versus Jack Graves, with Jack motherfucking Graves walking out victorious. And the cap off tonight was for the BMF Championship, held by AJ Woods against Damian Briggs, with Damian Briggs becoming the new champion. And that was an incredible show from start to finish. If you missed it, go check it out. And I was a very fan of the show. IPW never disappoints. Now, IZW took over BCW, brought to you by Jack Graves and Craig Connors. Hold on. There we are. And the kickoff the show was for the IZW Deathcore Championship. John Wigginton versus Bullet the Champion in a no-holds-barred, with John Wigginton walking out the new Deathcore Champion. Excited to see what he shall do with that reign. 2 out of 3 Extreme Rules Tornado Tag, a rematch between the Nightmare Legions, Britt Graves and Sarah Simpson, versus Kendra Grimm and Violet Grimm, the Sisters of Decay, with the Sisters of Decay walking out victorious and stealing the show yet again like they did the other night. Crossfire Women's Championship Triple Threat. It was for the Crossfire Women's Championship, and it was held by champion Taylor Griffin against Becca Edwards and Kaiba Frost, with Kaiba Frost walking out the new champion. A Death Pit Underground match between Big Lou and Travell Daniel, with Big Lou walking out victorious. Red Mane versus Reese the Destroyer, with Reese the Destroyer walking out victorious. IZW Women's Bloodlust Championship in a 6-women gauntlet eliminator. Reagan Anderson, Evil Gwen, LaShawn S., Jen, Tiffany Colt, and Angel Bryant. Hello, Mr. JoJo. I just went over your show. Was an incredible show, sir, and I'm excited to see the next show. With Reagan Anderson walking out victorious. Welcome, sir. Welcome. Next up was a Falls Count Anywhere between Buster Anderson and Craig Mack, with Buster Anderson walking out victorious. Tempest Fraga versus Cassandra M. Demoise, with Tempest Fraga walking out victorious. Triple threat between Ghost Edwards, Quinn J. Stone, and OG Dragon Blade, with OG Dragon Blade walking out victorious. Tornado Tag, Katie and the Combat Genius versus Rick King and George King, the champions, defending their Crossfire Tag Team Championships. And George and Rick King walked out victorious, retaining their gold. 2 out of 3 Glass Shattered between Akane Vachon and Insidious, with Akane Vachon walking out victorious. 5 Tables of Death. Hey, Buster is no slouch. May think it's a funny name, but he ain't no easy task. The Dog Rob Anderson, Jay Monster, Alexander Colt, AJ Woods, Mr. 5-Star versus Corey Bishop. And that was a 5 Tables of Death, with Rob Anderson taking out the victory. 2 out of 3, CJ Frost versus Jack Graves, with CJ Frost walking out victorious. 2 out of 3 Falls Count Anywhere, Rusty Steele versus Primetime JoJo to end off the show, with Primetime JoJo walking out victorious. I like to call him the Resident Flash, and Rusty Steele is no easy task, and they put on a banger to close out the show. Everybody's right to their opinion, sir. And JoJo, as I said, I did go over your show for IPW. Incredible, sir. I'm excited for the next IPW show. I'm excited for the next IZW show. And later today, there should be a war room for IWA going over Christine's Chaos, which should be this Saturday. And we shall be going over SPW's recent Carnage TV episode that happened yesterday. If you missed that, go check it out. Go check out NXT Gulf Coast's recent episode as well. And that was really what I had to go over, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody has a great day, good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever y'all may be, and peace out.